this one. I like this one. So I'm just gonna show you how easy it is. DJI Fly app, I'm setting it up for the first time. New DJI Neo firmware available. Okay, you know what this feels like? You know that scene in The Office where Michael has to do a PowerPoint presentation and he's just not prepared?
Updates are ready. I should update. Estimated time 12 minutes, so this should take about 5 or 10 minutes.
All right, so one of the key selling features of this entire drone is that you don't need a remote for it. It has all this AI technology that will do a variety of different shots. It has follow mode where it will follow you. It has droney where it goes out and back. It has spin, it has rocket, it has spotlight, and then even a custom one that you can set. But also just on top of that, if you do want a remote, you can literally use your phone as a remote to do manual mode and kind of have it go out further and manually control all the things that you want to get. So you can see all those shots right here. I'm impressed. But what we're gonna go do now is we're gonna go test out the FPV with the goggles and all the other remotes that it has. I have a pretty cool location right now. This is literally like a filming town. What I mean by that is that none of these buildings behind me are real, they're just facades. So why don't we do a little tour of the place, FPV, see what the footage is like. And also, I don't have a ton of experience on FPV, enough that it'll be safe, but we'll get the shot. I'm gonna tune into the matrix. Let's go. Let's see if we can thread the needle of this tree right here. Hey, perfect. We're gonna go through this pergola. Wow, nice. Oh, this is so much fun. So what I like about this is that I feel like hey, no way. I just hit that tree and it just fixed itself, no problem. So that's wonderful. And we're done. I'm happy with that. FPV. So what I think is amazing about the DJI Neo is that this is your chance to make mistakes just like I did when I was flying around. I hit a tree and it didn't crash. It actually kept flying still. And I think that's a really important thing to consider. Plus it's super small, so you can fly it inside, you can fly it in between things. So it's a great stepping stone to faster speeds and better aerials once you start to get into FPV. So I actually think what we're gonna see is a lot more FPV footage because this has bridged the gap between the fear of wanting to get into FPV and actually flying a bigger FPV drone. Now, if you're a beginner and you're looking for funding for your next project, whether it's a crazy video idea or a short film, fun fact, Artlist, who actually supplies the music for this video right now, is giving away $100,000 for your next idea. So all you gotta do is create a pitch, post it to social media and use the hashtag Artlist100K fund, and also tag Artlist so that they see it, and that way you will be entered to win. If you want more information about the contest as well as Artlist, you can hit the link in the description below. And if you decide to sign up for Artlist, you'll also get 2 months free using my code. So thank you, Artlist, for supporting the creative community with funding, with great resources, and also for being a friend of the channel for the last 6 years. I also want to have a little asterisk. This is something that I did not get to test out, but it has a full acro mode, so you can do all the flips similar to what you've seen with the Avata 2. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about image quality. You got 12 megapixel photos and you got 4K 30 frames per second and 1080p 60 frames per second. Now, considering the low bit rate out of this drone, I was actually shocked at how good the image looked. When I was flying it for the first time, I was like, oh, this looks like super shaky. I wonder how well the stabilization in post is going to look. And once you bring it into your computer, it actually looks quite great. Now, I think for a lot of professionals, they'll look at this image and go, oh, it's very sharp, it's oversaturated, and I think DJI does that for a good reason. It's because this is a very accessible drone to the masses, and the masses generally like that action sports look with more saturation, HDR, sharpness, so that when they post it, a lot of people will be like, ooh, this looks so amazing. But for a lot of professionals, it might not look, quote unquote, as cinematic. But let's just remember what we're playing with right now. It's a $200 beginner drone. If you want some more flexibility, that's why they have different product offerings. We can't get everything out of a $200 drone. But if you want to get a slightly better image, through my experience, what I found is just lower the sharpness to -2, as well as if you don't want your skies to be blown out, just switch your exposure compensation to -0.03 or -0.07. And at that point, you'll get a little bit more flexibility. But overall, once I brought this image in, I thought it looked pretty good. But I do want to make one note, DJI, on the next firmware update for this drone, can you make 2.7K available? Like, why is this not available on this drone? You just have like 4K and then 1080p, and you're like, nah, we don't give you the middle offering on this one. You gotta buy one of our other drones. All right, so here are some final thoughts on the DJI Neo 1 month in. I did a lot of tracking tests. Now, specifically here, I am on my electric skateboard and I'm just like ripping around set. I did find that it couldn't always keep up, but I think the purpose is not to always have it tracking you at very, very high speeds. And if it did lose me, if I went back, it found me again and then started tracking me. So there is a moment that even if it does not recognize you anymore, it's still searching for you. And once it finds you, it will continue doing its job. Overall, it handles wind pretty well. I would say fly it in like light to medium winds, definitely not high winds because you're probably gonna lose your drone. But the first time that I flew it was a fairly windy day and it still did all the things that I was asking it to do. Personally, I think one of the best parts about this drone is the flexibility when it comes to no remote to all the different remotes that you can use. So if you're not using a remote, you're just selecting the different quick shot options, and those work really, really well. Like, you can get everything that you possibly need without having to ever look down at a controller or at your phone. And that's huge because it allows you to be more in the moment. But let's say you want more flexibility, more manual control over it, you can just connect it to your phone and then you can actually go around. But there's two asterisks that I would note here is that the range is only through Wi-Fi. So you can't fly super far when you're on manual mode. But if you're used to using a controller where you have the option to change the actual view of the camera as well as fly it, it's not gonna happen with this drone, at least if you're using your phone, because on screen, you really can only put your thumbs and then the pitch of the controller is kind of at the top. So you'd have to have some like weird crab hand to do it. I couldn't even get that to work. So I would say that if you want ultimate control, that's when you would jump into the RCN3 controller where you connect your phone. That way you get even more distance and range out of your drone and also more flexibility to control it while you're flying. And then when you jump into FPV mode, you even have 2 more controllers and options to fly this drone. So you have the normal FPV and then you also have the RC motion control. And at that way, you have so much flexibility to start to get into the higher levels of flying and building your confidence in the FPV world. And that flexibility allows you to go across so many different formats rather than having to have a drone for FPV, another drone to be able to do cinematic stuff, another drone to be able to have like just for social media. I would actually say that this fits a lot of features in one, but they've capped the quality to some degree. And so at some point, yes, you're gonna get amazing things, people are gonna like it, but as you become a bit more of a professional content creator, you're gonna want more flexibility, and that's where they kind of get you there. But overall, at DJI, I would say that you've jam-packed value into this drone. So on the DJI website, if you want to purchase this drone, there's a couple different options. So you can buy just the drone itself, where you can use the remote built into the DJI Fly app, and that's $179 USD. From there, you can get into the Fly More combo, where you get a couple more batteries as well as one of the controllers, and then you can look into the FPV kits that will sync with the DJI Neo. So there's a lot of different options to consider, and you can have the option to link a DJI Bluetooth microphone and or use your phone, and it will directly connect to your audio file so that you can vlog using literally the drone itself. I think that option is just really nice for a lot of people who want to just start to get into content creation but don't know how to sync and do all these things in post-production. It's just all done for you right in the drone itself. The one thing I do want to note about this drone is, why is it so loud? So I would just consider that. But when it comes to the footage itself, which is really interesting, is that DJI has actually considered that frequency while you're vlogging, and they've even found a way to have noise cancellation so that that isn't in your audio clip while you're vlogging with it. So just a consideration there is that that won't impact your footage. You might just annoy a much older couple while they're on vacation, like I did. I think this is going to be DJI's best-selling drone, hands down. And the reason why is I think it actually hits a lot of the things that people are afraid of when it comes to drones. Number one, it's 135 grams, which means that it's actually below the legal limits of a lot of drone flying capabilities and for personal flying. So people aren't gonna be scared to use it because they're worried that they're gonna get a ticket. Number two, this has propeller guards, and I think a lot of people are not gonna be scared in that instance that they're gonna hurt themselves or hurt the people around them when they're trying to learn for the first time. And then number three, it is so affordable. It's $179, and relative to other drones, you're not gonna be as worried about breaking your new toy that you just spent $1,000 on, $2,000 on, $5,000 on. And I think this is going to build the confidence of a lot of drone pilots around the world. And I actually think we're gonna see a lot more FPV pilots because this is bridging the gap from first time into intermediary, into becoming an intermediate drone flyer. And that's what I have to say about that. If you guys like this video, please press like. It's just right down there. It's so easy. Subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for future videos, and we'll most definitely catch you guys in the next one. I had a lot of fun playing with this product. I love you guys. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.